Hannity, watch tonight on the radical left. At CPAC, the president announced his plans to issue an executive order to ensure that America's left-wing universities actually enforce freedom of speech, sure they don't get money. On stage with the president was Hayden Williams. He was viciously, as you know, attacked while recruiting students for a conservative organization at UC Berkeley. Thankfully, the UC Berkeley police announced Friday that they have made an arrest. The suspect, 28-year-old Zachary Greenberg. Hayden joins us now, along with Campus Reform Editor-in-Chief and Fox News contributor Lawrence Jones. All right, Hayden, number one, we're glad you're here. Pretty cool getting called up with the president, right? It was kind of worth a punch.
Yeah, it was, well, I guess. It was kind of exhilarating, you know, being recognized and brought up on the stage at CPAC. But, you know, there's so many conservative students across the country who put up with similar forms of discrimination and harassment and even violence that, you know, don't get recognized. And, you know, we've covered it extensively.
And it's interesting. You were trying to tape him. You had a phone in one hand, and he's just standing there. And then, you know, when you least expect it, it's a cheap shot. But it's also violence. It's an assault. Right. Do you plan on pursuing this to the fullest extent of the law?
Of course. I mean, that's really the only way we can hold these people accountable is by, you know, first and foremost documenting these incidents as they happen. And, you know, that's really one thing we teach at Leadership Institute is, you know, just try to record everything and don't retaliate, because, you know, the left will use anything they can to try to distort the facts.
I might give you different advice, and I know you have 3 eyewitnesses that saw it from the very beginning, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I might give you a little different advice. Somebody's that threatening, you do have a right to protect yourself. And the phone becomes secondary when it comes to your personal safety. You know, I train an hour and a half a day, 4 or 5 days a week in mixed martial arts. And I would just advise you, forget the phone, and if somebody's that threatening, be prepared to stop it. Lawrence, we see this all over the country now. It's interesting to me is that conservatives are the one. Liberals claim, like they claim, you know, a monopoly of compassion for people. Not true. They care about the issues of sexual assault, Me Too, but not when it's the lieutenant governor of Virginia. They care about DACA, Dreamers, and furloughed workers, but not if Trump's president. So we know there's a lot of hypocrisy here, but if we don't have, why would any college deserve a penny if they don't allow conservatives even an equal platform to speak?
That's exactly right, and this is why the president is assigning this executive order. The problem is, though, Sean, the president shouldn't have to sign a law reaffirming what is guaranteed to us by the Constitution. It's freedom of speech, but they don't care about it, and this shows you because UC Berkeley isn't taking this seriously. They're trying to act like this is just an isolated event when we've seen the campus on fire. We've seen conservatives being targeted on the campus. Just look at some of the staff members that celebrated Hayden being hit in the face. Let's be honest here, Sean. I couldn't have taken the punch. I just couldn't have taken it. When the president said that he took it for all of us, some of us would have reacted differently. And you know what the narrative would have been? It was the conservatives' fault. We instigated this,
Lawrence,
that we wanted violence.
Hayden's orbital bone could have been broken. His jaw could have been broken.
Yes.
You know, he's got something in his hand. The guy knows it's a cheap shot.
Yes. He threatened to shoot Hayden, okay? He said that in the video. But look, Sean, the country is sick of this. First, it was during the Kavanaugh hearing, and that started on the college campuses as well. And then it was the hoax with Jussie Smollett. Now we have our kids being hit in the face. Right, I think the Democrats are heading to a place of no return. You
get the last word, Hayden. And I'm not saying you did the wrong thing. I just hate to see cheap shots and a bullying assault like that.
Right, yeah, and I'm glad that, you know, the Berkeley Police Department was able to hold this guy, you know, in custody, and hopefully we'll be able to hold him accountable to the fullest extent of the law.
All right, thank you both for being with us. All right, when we come back.